Welcome to episode 313 of the Overlook Hour. I am your host, Clark Little. Along with me, as always, is the man sitting across the table from me. Boys and girls, I don't mean to tell tales outside of school, but my man is looking slim, trimmed, and ready to roll. That's Russell John.
That was the most insulting intro you've ever
What are you
given me.
talking
Because
about?
it's just a fucking lie.
You look nice.
Is that true?
You look nice.
I haven't heard that from anybody else, so I
100%.
instantly...
No,
all right.
you look nice.
I don't know.
Oksana, Valeria Novosachi, who also looks nice. Get in there, talk about your man.
He doesn't believe me anyway.
No. I'm scared to get on the scale.
When's the last time you got on the scale?
I was loving it after COVID. When I went down those 8 magical pounds, I was like, dude, this rules. And then I went back up 3, and I'm like, I'm not fucking with you no more.
No. You look good.
All right, well, thank you. I know you've been listening to a lot of Rogan, so I don't know if I can trust what you're saying right now.
It's also true. I've got some ivermectin to talk to you about later on the episode.
Can't wait.
Also joining us is the man over there in Atlanta, Georgia, and may I also say he's always looking like a snack. It's Randy Michaelstad. Excuse me.
Oh,
it's
thanks.
Randy
Yeah,
Michael
that's
Snack.
me. Nice pun. I
Thank you
dig
so
it.
much.
You do look
We can also
tasty.
say that my eye has healed since last time I saw you guys.
I'm glad you brought it up because I didn't want to put you on the spot.
We did we?
No,
we
we
talk about it
didn't.
on
We
the
didn't.
show?
It was right after.
No,
Okay.
it hasn't aired on the show.
Yeah, a little behind the curtain scenes. We've been doing some audio work for a couple of movies that who knows if anybody will ever see these. But Randy had a little run in. Randy, it looked like he got jumped by a bunch of anti-vaxxers out there in the ATL.
Yeah, I figured with the new Jackass movie coming out this week, and in honor of the new Buster Keaton book, Cameraman, that I'm reading, that I would do a pratfall of my own. So coming home from a show last weekend, I literally just tripped on a curb, and my pockets were in my hands were in my jacket pockets, and I had no anything to break my fall, and I just lost balance, and I broke my glasses and got a little black eye.
See, your problem with that is that you should have done a Chris Pratt fall,
Oh my god!
where you fall down, then you get back up, and then you
pray to
recommit your
God.
life to Christ.
Now, Randy, when we saw you, you looked like you had been beat up. Your eyebrow was cut, your nose was
Yeah.
fucked up, and if y'all were worried, his teeth are completely fine.
That was my biggest concern.
This is
Yeah,
true.
that was
It
my
did
biggest
look a lot worse than it was, and the person that I was with was very concerned when it happened, and my face was bleeding, and I wiped my face, and my hand was full of blood. But I honestly felt fine. I was shook a little bit from falling, but I just got back up and walked the half
Wait.
half mile to my house and was fine.
Now you got to tell the story about the lady who came to your aid.
There was a person on the street that gave me some not reusable, some masks that they had in their pocket, just some extra masks, and I just put them on my face to wipe the blood away and keep some pressure on it.
It was so. He told us she was like, "I don't have any napkins, but I have these masks,"
Yeah,
and they completely filled with blood. Right?
pretty close. Yeah,
Randy. Now here's the thing. He was telling this. So we were going to record audio. We've been doing that weekend for movies. For some reason, they want us to be a part of it. And last minute, I got word that the second recording we were going to do, they wanted video too. So we reached out to Randy, and he got on. He's like, "I'm down as long as it's not going on YouTube or something." And me and Clark go, "Oh, he's going to be fucking angry because it's not going on YouTube. It's going in a movie,
Yeah.
potentially." And Randy showed up. You had a nasal strip on? You looked like you had just got out of a boxing match.
yeah. It was nighttime, and I don't breathe well, so I wear a Breathe Right strip every night. And I was wearing one, and then I took it off for the recording.
Now, here's the thing. I thought you looked fucking cool. And I'm not joking.
100%.
And the minute we said for a movie, you got instantly angry and you started fixing your hair. And it was hilarious and kind of terrifying.
And then you delivered the goods. You came
Yeah, it was
in.
all right.
You conquered.
Yeah. Dude, it was an incredible story. And I am shocked. You look perfect. You look fine.
Yeah, it healed up pretty well. I iced my eye / left side of my face every couple hours for the first 5 days or so, and then my parents luckily found some old pair of glasses that I left in Pleasanton, so they sent me those. And then, so I'm wearing an older pair of glasses. So it's fine. The prescription works well, but I have new, not a sponsor, Warby Parker glasses coming soon.
But see, yeah, I can't even tell that you've got these battle scars, man. So where were you bleeding from? Your nasal cavity?
Eyebrow.
Yeah,
up
like literally the
there.
eyebrow and literally right above the
Oh,
eyebrow a little bit.
see, you needed a cut man, dude.
I know.
You needed, Casamano in your corner, dude.
It looks like you got gypped a cool scar too. You should have had a battle wound from that.
I know. It's unfortunate. I have a story, I guess. Not a cool one, but
I don't know. It's pretty cool. Did you take pictures in the mirror when you were all fucked up?
no.
Be
I didn't
honest.
think about it.
You
No, I
fucking
didn't.
did. Oh my god. Well, at least we got video. So if that movie comes out, we'll plug it as Randy's battle video.
I'm just saying, you could have used this to more of your advantage.
Sure, I'm sure that's true with a lot of things in my life.
Wait, he did post something on like Twitter though, didn't he? I thought he put something.
No, but what I'm saying is, in the moment, because he was with a lady friend.
He didn't say that. He said a person.
We know the
I know.
story.
Anyway, the real story
She
today.
could have took you to her place, got you all nice and fixed up.
No, I'm a strong, independent man, and I took care of my own.
That
wounds.
is single and ready to mingle.
I just wish there was video of the lady offering him like these blue medical masks to cover up all the blood.
I did walk by the scene of the crime, so to speak, right before Jackass Forever the other day, and I did not trip on the curb.
Was there still a little blood stain there?
It didn't look like it, no, but I wish there was. That would be cool. That'd be a cool story.
Now, tripping on the curb, was this going down or going up?
Going up the curb.
Just pick up your feet, you slough.
There is, I've been watching a lot of like Fail Army and all that kind of garbage, that mindless just video barrage. And they had a compilation of a curb. I don't know where it was, but it was just security camera footage of people constantly tripping over one little curb.
Well, it's stupid the way it's set. It's like a crosswalk, but 3 feet from the curb, there's just one of those like parking
Bumper things,
bumpers, for
And
no reason.
People were eating it over there constantly.
Falling into the road almost.
Yeah,
like,
into the road, which was much worse than Randy into the curb. Anyway, in more exciting news, I got a package a couple days ago of one of the most beautiful Blu-ray releases I now own, which is The Scary of 61st.
Randy, look at this packaging.
Dude, Vinegar
Nice.
Syndrome. Look, it's a mirror, Randy. But also, you open it up, more cool fucking art. Dude, there's so
cool.
much art. Everything is textured on here. It's beautiful.
It's incredible.
I highly recommend just fucking blind order this movie.
What's the retail on that?
I don't know, what was it?
It's $33
Not
without
bad.
shipping.
Worth it.
Which it's lower now. It's going to go back up to 50, I'm sure, at some point.
50?
Again,
$50.
Vinegar Syndrome.
Well, how many prints did they make?
They have over 1,000 left.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they usually do a run of like a couple thousand. With that one, I wouldn't be surprised if it was more. Vinegar Syndrome, they kind of run the gambit of like highbrow, elevated film, like actual like avant-garde, to fucking home horror, like no budget, micro budget, and they have the fucking best slipcovers and releases. Like, I don't know, they might be my favorite boutique. I feel a little bit committed to Severin though, because I mean we love them. Like as people, they're just good.
Yeah.
But the product on Vinegar Syndrome, Zach, I love you. I Intervision is still the best.
Zach, I don't give a shit either way. But
Also-
you're cool.
Also than that, I'm going to sneak it in here in the beginning. In Found Footage February, which we actually do have some found footage films to talk about, we're going to slowly be rolling out info on the new film fest. I will throw out some teasers now. We are going to be doing an in-person. It's going to be a bit of a gambit of the remaining theaters left in San Francisco. Last week, we lost the Embarcadero.
Boo.
R.I.P. Yeah, what the fuck?
Very quickly. I think they announced on like Monday or Tuesday, and then they were done by Friday.
Well, they saw the Castro blowback, and they're just like,
Man.
fuck it. Just be like, hey, we're out. Bye.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't have. There's no reason for me to have a sense of optimism that another theater is going to jump.
Oh,
in
no.
that spot.
No way.
So
Well, when we look in context, in the last couple of years, we lost the programming at the Yerba Buena. We lost the film program at MoMA.
mhm.
We lost Embarcadero. We lost the Clay. And now we've lost the Castro. It's like, think how many theaters we had out here. When you had like the Red Vic and the Lumiere and the Bridge.
That's in the city. Also in South Bay, we lost the Guild, which was one of my favorite. It was a landmark theater.
Oh, I've never
it was
been
a
there.
one screener. It was a one screener in Menlo Park. I used to go down there all the time. I loved it. And now it's a nightclub.
The California closed in Berkeley too.
Yeah.
Yep, and the California. Love the California.
Landmark theaters are dropping.
Man.
Yeah, it's a bummer. But
Well, because a lot of these landmark theaters were, when they got in there, they revived those theaters.
yeah.
And now it's just, yeah.
I've always had a problem with their programming though, because it felt like most of them screened one movie that was already available online for like 3 months.
Well,
and that's it.
You got your wish. They're dead.
Well, they marketed to that crowd who would want to see those, but again, these were older people
Yeah.
that probably aren't in,
Again, this is very regional theater politics here. So just know that we found some theaters that are still alive and we will be screening there. I'm going to give you the dates now. Just stick with us and we'll start revealing more. Our first screening tied to the Unnamed Footage Festival Part 5 is going to be on March 15th. Then you get a day off, and then we're going March 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day, through the
happy off.
20th, which is a Sunday. So if you live in town, we definitely want to meet up with you on Tuesday. But if you're flying in, which I know some of you are, we're going Thursday through Sunday, March 17th through 20th.
Hell yeah.
And more to come in the future. Yeah, Randy, I heard a rumor you might be coming out.
This is true. I will be there and plan on not talking to me because I am antisocial and I don't know how to talk to people.
That's fine.
I'll see if I can make it.
Okay. Also, even more important, we have a transmission screening of the movie that I love so much, Scariest 61st. What's the date for that?
There's actually 2. I think they added a second one. It's
Oh,
gonna
my.
be at the Roxy Theater on February 21st and the 22nd, which is a Monday and Tuesday.
Now, did it sell out? Do we have tickets yet? Hey, here's a
No.
callback. Remember when I loved Halloween Kills and I was like, I want to get two of the action figures so I could open one and play with one?
Oh,
And someone's
God.
like, yeah, I got it. She didn't order one. She didn't get me a single one. Shout out to my mom who did come through. Thank you, Mommy. You're the best.
Mommy?
Here's the thing.
No, Mommy.
No, Mommy's fine. I think Mommy's fine. Now, we did throw a Halloween party, and one of the members did.
No, this was it Halloween or
It was
Christmas?
the White Elephant.
It was the White Elephant. Yeah.
And one of our friends, one of the collaborators on the Overlook Theater, turned to his sister and said, "Daddy." Now, I don't know in what context, but he was referring to his father.
This is a 40-year-old man.
And I was like, did he just say daddy?
A 40-year-old man referred to his father as daddy.
Everyone kind of froze and was like, what?
Yeah, what?
What?
I had to process. I didn't think that it happened.
It was weird.
Oh, I do want to add the Scary of 61st screenings are on 35 millimeter, which is
35.
Courtesy of Vinegar Syndrome and Circle Collective, which I've never heard of.
Now, here's the thing. If you're a fan of cinema, if you're one of those people who's like, I'm a misanthrope, my church is the theater. I love to go in a dark room and just pray. That's where I live. This is one of those movies. I'll tell you, walk out on this damn street and you talk about this film, you talk about Red Scare, nobody out here will admit to liking it. In fact, they'll probably get pretty angry and be like, oh, I hate them. Yet they added another screening. Little weird, huh? I wonder who's buying. It's probably all the fucking Proud Boys out here buying all the tickets up. What are you gonna add?
I just don't know if misanthrope is the perfect word for that example.
Just having been in like lobbies talking about films,
I think many film goers, such as myself, are misanthropic.
Okay.
But then also, here's the thing. You know what I love more than anything on this planet? An empty movie theater.
I hate
what I hate? A full theater where I'm jammed up and cramped.
I'm a little. It's interesting you say that because I hate an empty movie theater because I kind of like the communal. I also like to know that people are going to the theater.
Yeah.
But a full movie theater, I'm not totally psyched, mostly because I normally don't agree with the general audience. So when people especially if they turn on a movie, I've learned to love it though. I've learned, again, when Wes Craven died and they showed Nightmare on Elm Street at the Roxy, not a supportive crowd. There were bottles being thrown.
Well, it was like a Friday.
There were people going, that blood looks fake.
Oh.
And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? But after I talked to one of the people at the Alamo, and they're like, well, I mean, think of it this way. It's kind of like the heyday in New York, where you go into a theater to watch a movie and nobody else is there to do it.
Now we're going to talk more about this when we're going to break down films. But I do want to know what were your views on our theater experience when we saw Jackass Forever?
Well, I had the theater experience I had before was Scream, and not a lot of people. There were like maybe one other group that was excited, and that's a bummer. A big like should be packed theater, and then like some people like like on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Jackass a little better. It was a slightly smaller theater, and there was like maybe 3 healthy rows of people.
I thought it would be a little bit, because I'll tell you this, in the trailer, we had some commentary in the back where the guy would just go boo.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, in most circumstances, I'm not behind this.
Yep.
But for this specific arena, I think that gave me a little bit of optimism that we're gonna have a little bit of fun.
It made me happy.
But we carried the laughter. Now there was a guy on our road that came by himself. He was cracking up. We were cracking up. I really couldn't hear what was going on behind us.
Now, when I posted that I had watched Jackass, one of my favorite comments from Splatterbeast was, that movie was nuts. And here's the thing. I remember seeing Borat in that same theater, and there's a lot of male members popping up. I believe one of them talks with his little hole.
Yeah.
And we had walkouts. It's interesting to see how the culture shifted.
Borat was a great success when I saw it.
That's not actually, well, it was, no, I'm talking Bruno. That's what I meant, Bruno.
Yeah.
I was going to give you shit for doing Borat when I meant Bruno. But
You said Borat.
all right. Again, thanks, producers, for
Jacques.
correcting me here.
Whoops.
Because you know how I love that.
All right. So we have a segment that, which one are we doing first?
No, we got a guest.
Okay.
Come on, you.
All right, let's bring him in.
All right,
No,
can you intro him?
You have me anxious about this TBR report that's going to take 3 days to do.
It's not. I mean, it probably should, but it's not.
Okay, Randy, be sure that we start a special timer for his 14 film.
Hey, I'm pro timer. If we want to do segment timers, I wouldn't resist that. Why would I? My thing is, I just want to have some I just want my facts straight. Okay, they came for Rogan. I'm next. I can't get shit right on this show. I don't want to end up on the guillotine. If you see an apology video coming out of me, it's over.
Well, show me some of that ivermectin.
When I had fucking COVID and I was just like going through it, I'm like, should I just reach out and try and get like some horse paste just to end this shit already?
Good luck.
I know, especially out here.
Here's my problem. Why can't we take horse medicine when people are using horse shampoo all the time?
Oh, is that true?
Mane and tail. People use that all the time.
I thought that was just a name.
No, horse shampoo.
I'm reading Animal Farm. I think it comes up in that.
Why are you reading Animal Farm? You didn't read Animal Farm when you were 12 like other people?
I did, and I was like, now I can kind of appreciate the short format.
Sure.
Again, keyword there, short. I'm 5 books into my 50 for the year. I'm a little, got to read an Animal Farm every now and then.
Sorry, Russell, hit the bumper music. This is our new segment called Book It.
Oh, yeah. It's my go-to.
You guys are go-to.
Okay, here, I got another stinger for you.
Book it.
Okay, let's
now.
bring
How many books are you reading simultaneously right now?
4.
That's too many. Cut it down.
It's also a fake number.
Randy, are you go one at a time, or you dip around?
I usually only go one at a time.
Dip around.
So I've heard that you have christened your Buster Keaton book, which I have also purchased. How far in are you?
I read for a little bit this morning. I think I'm like just shy of 100 pages.
My man. So how is it?
It's good. It's good so far. I dig it.
So this is about not only Buster. So it's a little bit of a biography, but it also focuses a lot on early cinema history.
Yeah, kind of like traces like the early 20th century, like alongside Buster Keaton's life. So he was born in like 1895, which was like the first like official like screening of movies that
Yeah.
happened. And then, you know, he was in like vaudeville with his parents, and they had a show where he was like 5 and he was getting thrown around and like doing stunts and stuff. And there was not really like child protection laws and stuff back then. So it kind of like talks about how that was like working alongside, like as he was coming up doing stuff with his parents' vaudeville show. So it's
not
just now
his
getting into
name.
like his movie career.
Right? That's how they named him, because he kept falling down, so they called him Buster.
I hadn't got to that yet. No.
Weird.
I
Seems
think
like
it's-
something you'd open a book with.
I thought they called him Buster because my man could produce a big fat load.
At the early age of 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I'm gonna do.
So you tee that up. I'm gonna.
Touching that.
All right. He flew all the way out. Can we let him in?
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Unless he's gonna talk about books.
You know what? You want to place a bet on what he's going to talk about today?
All right, here we go.
Well, okay. From music video director of Blue Bob, Thank You Judge Me, and ex Japan Longing, we got David Lynch. Come on in.
I appreciate you work you do on that every week.
Good morning. It's February 6th, 2022, and it's a Sunday. Day 2 of weekend projects. Day 2 of riding the fun work train. And I've been having a pretty good time with resin,
Weed?
wood,
Boners?
Quaaludes.
epoxy,
And a 14-year-old
Paint.
Filipino.
Paint?
wallpaper paste,
What?
and many trips to the dining car for coffee.
My man.
Everyone, have a great day.
Wow.
Can you imagine? Yeah, you got to shut. He's still in the room.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Get out of here.
Thank you. Can you imagine David Lynch's breath?
Oh.
I mean, he is just smoking and sipping coffee all day. Not to mention, we have documented cases of clear old man mouth.
Oh, yeah. I could hear it there.
It's rough stuff.
It's probably all that wall paste
It
he's
is
been eating.
rough stuff.
That's how he fights COVID. He doesn't have horse paste. He has wall
God,
paste.
did you ever watch the now I don't have the Criterion edition, but the original DVD release they did of Eraserhead had a
Oh.
bunch of extra stuff on there.
Years ago.
There's a 15-minute video of him just cooking quinoa.
Oh.
And at this
I've
time
seen that
a 20
Where did you see that?
social media.
Yeah. At that time that honestly that's the first time I was introduced to quinoa.
Oh.
Was Lynch cooking quinoa.
You should have thanked him while he was here.
It has a lot of protein.
It's not. He was just here and you're mocking him.
Quinoa.
I don't understand. Also, you should tell him to add that to the dining car.
You know, he cooked that quinoa in a full suit and tie.
Of course.
Yeah, that's his look. Look at what Clark's wearing right now. You
Have you
think it's
seen
an
it?
accident?
That's right. By the way, Randy, you like it? I'm all white today, baby.
One
Aren't
would
you
say he
always?
has a lot of pride.
Thank you so much.
I was hoping that David would use the opportunity of this show to announce that he is going to be in the new Steven Spielberg film.
Yeah, did you hear about that? Russ?
No.
Yeah, he's acting. He. I heard starred, but then I don't. I just think they said. I don't know. Is he starring in it?
I think there's not any details about what the role he is playing currently.
By the
But
way,
he's going to be in it.
All right. I mean, he's starting to look like he should be in a Rob Zombie movie. He's got a lot of character, but Rob Zombie gets the most disheveled looking people. Meg Foster, I believe, was the one. She looked like a strong breeze would take her away.
yeah.
She'd collapse. All right. Well, we did start this officially, so take a deep breath and we're going to dive into our found footage coverage, I guess. You ready?
Meg Foster looks like a melted candy bar.
She looks like a raisin. with like beautiful eyes.
Man,
All right, here we go.
that sounds like a Limp Bizkit record. The TBR report. I changed the voice.
You gotta warn me before. Oh, and Randy went black. He left. All right. Anyway, Thomas Burke writes, 25th edition, the second consecutive 25th edition.
Wait. Oksana, do you sign off on that?
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that after. Hey, gang. Again, Thomas Burke, he's our found footage adventurer. He travels all over the world via the internet and digs up found footage films that we need to be talking about. And today he's dug up a couple of doozies. So I'm going to read from that email. Hey, gang. First, to avoid any and all possible confusion, I'm going to suggest this week we have our TBR record be shared as a dual continuation of the second consecutive edition, 25th edition. This is to both commemorate and honor all 11 other numerical mishaps that precede. But fret not. Are you going to jump in there? Go ahead.
He needs something else to do.
No, I love it. All right, back to the email.
Frisbee golf, cooking.
He doesn't sleep. He doesn't have time. You want to give him another hobby?
Thomas, that is the main hobby. Sleep.
No, he goes to the theater. He's a good man. But fret not, because I have a movie here for y'all today that certainly stands out as something of its own, which happens to be a 1999 crime thriller titled Dirty Cop, No Donut. A reality TV crew follows a police officer around as he takes the law into his own hands and slugs out his own brand of justice to each perp who crosses his path. So look, this VHS 90s flick is really bizarre, and the subsequent follow-up sequel is even more bizarre. It's a total mess. It's a complete rampage. And for some reason, I can't seem to peg why I enjoyed the two-feature franchise. Maybe it's because I haven't given too many other shockumentary films a chance. I don't know, but to me, it's kind of held its own in shooting and capturing an original story, especially for the 1990s. You gotta love that VHS, baby. Think of it like this, that old TV show Cops, but more greasy around the edges. Instead of being on Spike TV or whatever, this probably would have ended up airing in some liminal space of your TV that hangs in the fifth plane of existence and or consciousness.
Showtime late night.
Yeah. So with that, grab your diapers, fellas, because this one you won't want to miss, even though Clark and Randy will 100% totally miss this.
This sounds like I would like it.
Honestly, I'm going to make an argument for that. The first and second Dirty Cop can be streamed via Vimeo on demand, and have fun watching these. All the B, T B B B B J K I R J T B B I L Y N O M W O I O 5 T F T W P. Thomas Burke, blah 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 blah. Just kidding. It's really just Thomas Burke, but I love you no matter what. Okay, I'm outie 5,000 for the week. Peace. Oh, it's a mouthful. Honestly, if I hadn't been doing all this reading, I don't know if I could keep up with these emails. Anyway, Thomas, he set it up right. This week, he's directed me into a cinema vortex that, Dirty Cop, No Donut. That's a great title, right?
Indeed.
Now, when I tell you that it's directed by a Tim Ritter, does that mean anything to you?
John Ritter's brother.
I always think of that too. Tim Ritter, and I'm sure some of you already know, is kind of like a micro-budget master. He wrote and directed this film, and he also did this classic micro-budget film, Truth or Dare, Critical Madness, which I highly recommend if you're a fan of shot-on-video horror. He teams up with Joel D. Wincoop, who also is a B-movie juggernaut. And Joel plays Gus Kimball, who is our dirty cop. Now, this film, Thomas, I'll tell you why you like this film. It's very low impact for a found footage horror. You could really, you could throw this movie on in the background and have a party and show up to it when you want and walk away from it when you want. It's literally Gus Kimball, the cop, with the cameraman walking around. It's almost like Jackass, where it's like, there are scenes where he just comes in and he's just riffing the whole time. And just so you have a little bit of an idea of what Gus Kimball's like, I would describe him as Big Boss Man with a personality somewhere in between Sam Kinison and Tim Dillon. Dude, and he's just riffing. Now, again, this is 1999, so some of the the dialogue. There's a lot of F-bombs here, and I'm not talking about fuck. So if you're uncomfortable with that, maybe steer away. I don't even like that I warned anybody about that, because this movie, this motherfucker, here, I'll tell you what the movie is. We open, he goes into a 7-Eleven, and he's just walking around with this cameraman, opening shit, eating it, putting it back on the shelf while talking shit to the guy running the store. Then we go to a residence, and he harasses a dealer and steals his Coke. Then we go to a prostitute on the street. We pick her up and force her to have the weirdest interaction. Now, she mentions she's from Jamaica. One of my favorite lines in this movie is Gus Kimball says, "Jamaica? You Jamaican me crazy." And I'm like, I haven't heard that in 2 decades. It's
From your dad?
Yeah, dude. I mean, honestly, I'd probably be guilty of saying that. Then we get to where I had to pull an audio clip. Now, honestly, this thing is a gold mine of just random garbage. It's so much fun. It's also a little edgy for today. So if you want some comedy that isn't like filtered through 2020, you may enjoy the fourth encounter with Tommy the pervert. Now, he sets it up. He goes to a hotel. He's looking through the window, and there's a tough gangster dude, right? He's asleep on a chair. So he just opens the door, walks in, takes the gun from the guy on the chair, and he's like, "This ain't Tommy. We're looking for Tommy." And he kicks open a bathroom door where he sees Tommy, who is kind of a meatloaf-looking character with a towel around his waist.
Mhm.
Now, I pulled a clip from here because I think everybody needs to hear a little bit of Gus Kimball. So let me cue that up. All right, so just to set this up, Gus Kimball's just kicked open the door. He's got his cameraman with him, and Tommy the pervert has he's standing there looking a little pudgy with his towel around his waist. First, you're gonna hear Tommy, and then it will be Gus. Here we go.
What the hell do you think you are, breaking into my fucking house and telling me what to fucking do, pushing me to fuck around?
Yo, Tommy, shut up, man. I've got a gun. I got a badge. I'm the law. You don't mess with me. Do you understand me? How many times you been in, boy? How many times you been in the slammer?
15.
15. This boy's been in there 15 times. In over what? 2 or 3 months?
Maybe a month and a half.
A month and a half. And you keep getting out, Tommy. What's up with that? What insane asshole's letting you out of jail? Boy, I should just blow your fucking head off, Tommy. I can just splatter your brain matter all over here, and you know what? I can cover it up, because I'm the law!
Is this still bullshit, man?
You're bullshit! You're shit!
So,
This seems pretty good.
dude, that's the movie. Also, Tommy, if you felt a little bad for him and you're like, dude, this cop shouldn't be doing that. 1, Chesapeake shouldn't have let him out. But 2, he's a pedophile. And there's a moment where he makes him admit
He's a what?
he's a pedophile. I don't know if I have that clip anymore.
Boo.
Now I'm looking. I don't think I have it. He makes, you know what?
He's a pedophile.
Thank you
I
so much.
found it. Okay. Now, here's the thing. He makes him admit to having hooked up with a 13-year-old girl.
Oh,
So if
boy.
you're feeling bad for Tommy the pervert, you might want to tune into the movie because Gus Kimball makes him cut his own dick off. Now, my only complaint with this is that they don't show it. Which, in context, when you watch this movie, they've got that very early pre-internet horror vibe going where the prostitute scene is consensual, so don't worry, it's not a rape. Well, it pretty much is, but she says yes on camera anyway. They zoom in on boobs and linger there for like, you could just feel the lack of internet in this movie. Anyway, after Tommy, we go to a warehouse where there's a homeless man. We go to a pawn shop where he harasses the dude running the pawn shop. That is a lot of fun. Then he goes to a teen party where he starts hanging out with the teens. He pulls over a drunk driver and smashes her car up with a baseball bat. This movie, Thomas, you love it because it's just fun. It's funny too because they have a disclaimer at the end. Also, in the credits, they have one of those things where it's the original title of the film, which is Low Down Dirty Cop. I don't know. I think Dirty Cop No Donut is much better. And in the credits, they mention, hey, don't worry, this is all fake at the very end of it. And you're like, who the fuck is thinking this is real?
Yeah.
Like, it's so over the top. Also, one of the little quirks of our cop, He kills every dead soldier at a party. And for those of you who haven't drank too much in your life, that's when you walk around a party and finish off beers that have been abandoned. He also burps and farts all the fucking time.
Love it.
And I think they're all real.
Of course.
Dude, Clark, I think you would have a lot of fun with this. But I do think Thomas is right and you won't watch it.
That's also
The guy who
probably
plays the main cop has like 15 things.
No, he is a
that are in
master of
post-production.
B horror. Yeah, no, he's a fan favorite. And if you jump on IMDb and look through his stuff, I mean, again, if you do like micro budget or shot on video stuff, he's a king of it. Now, again, Tom did recommend 2 movies, so I did check out the second feature, Dirty Cop 2, I Am a Pig. Now, one thing I skipped over with the first one, it's being filmed by his brother, Ed. And there's not a lot of, like...
Gein?
Yeah, Ed Gein. No, he's way more boring. And Ed Gein was kind of boring, too. The thing is, we don't do... You would think this film is kind of an echo of Man Bites Dog, where it's kind of like edgy shockumentary, like, you know, nonfiction can be bad too.
Yeah.
We really don't dive into any of that. And Ed, the cameraman, is also a bad guy. So it's a little interesting. They're both like shitty. Dirty Cop 2 starts off with Gus Kimball in jail. He's been arrested. And his brother Ed has made a fortune off their movie. So now Ed decides he wants to be a dirty cop. So he hires the cameraman and has him follow him. The other thing, though, is Gus Kimball's been rehabilitated. And he gets out of jail wearing a beautiful pink shirt. And a super fan of his movie starts filming him and starts corrupting him. And that moment where he goes back to his little apartment and sees all the porn on the walls, and it's just like, what the fuck? Why was I doing this? And starts breaking down. Beautiful. The rest of the movie, kind of boring. Also, Tim Ritter returns to direct. He's not credited as writing the film. And normally when we deal with a found footage movie and there's no writer, they just kind of discover it, they credit the stars as being writers. There's no credit for writing on here. So I don't know what happened. This movie is much more boring. Ed clearly doesn't have the star power of Gus Kimball. And a lot of his shit, like he kidnaps this rich girl and is going to take naked pictures of her to send to her parents. She's too excited to get out of that dress. And that scene lasts fucking 15 minutes too long, where she's just fully nude on a hotel bed, just like, fuck you. And she's like posing. It's kind of cringy and it's kind of boring, but everybody should watch the first one. Now, before I wrap the book on this TBR, I got to mention that I've got a callback. I was supposed to pay this off a long time ago, but if you remember in episode 300, I talked about the Peter Jackson faux documentary, where they kind of created a New Zealand superstar who had done everything from like invent cinema to fight in wars as a war hero.
Was that Forgotten Silver?
Forgotten Silver.
Nailed it. I do pay attention.
You do. And I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Now, Forgotten Silver, again, the blowback that came from that movie coming out, it was written about, but I couldn't find anything. And if you look, they have a Region 2 DVD where they have a special feature called Behind the Bull. And I couldn't find that anywhere. So we fucking ordered the DVD. We figured out how to use our all-region Blu-ray player. And we ripped it. So
ripped it good.
We are going to be putting up... It's on YouTube right now. And we're hosting it. But it's a private link. So I think what we're going to do is tweet it. If you want to watch this 20-minute documentary... It's fucking good. It opens up with Peter Jackson and the other writer of the film, whose name I had trouble with, Costa Botes.
Crushed it.
He talks. Now I pulled a little bit of audio. I was asking Oksana earlier. I'm like, do you think that's boats? And she's like, it's definitely not
How
boats.
you spell it?
Botes.
Bates.
Yeah. So Costa Botes. Him and Peter Jackson wrote and directed it. And it opens up with them talking a little bit about it. So here's Costa talking about Forgotten Silver.
The trick with this documentary, of course, was that it wasn't going to be true. It was going to be a little white lie from beginning to end.
Flicked on the radio and there was talkback, and the first thing that we heard were all these people raving and ranting about this brilliant Colin McKenzie and how absolutely sensational he is, and why has he not been heard of, and he's one of the greatest Kiwis that have ever lived.
Now, that second voice is the actor Thomas Robbins, who played Colin McKenzie. And this is the thing that always comes up on this show, where when you present something that works as a nonfiction but is actually fictional, you get a lot of blowback. And it's a pretty interesting time. It's why I keep like alluding to the Rogan thing, and just, the ownership consumers need to take over the media they take in, and just taking everything at face value. Well, you heard them. They're like, yeah, it was going to be a little white lie. Who cares? Here's a clip of them talking about the blowback. Now, this is mixed. Some people like it, but they have voice actors come in to read articles and letters that were handwritten to them. So again, after the first screening, and who's talking here? We're back to Costa again. Here we go.
After the first screening of Forgotten Silver on New Zealand television in October 1995, the reaction was distinctly mixed, and I guess there was a feeling of overwhelming surprise in my mind to the degree to which we had succeeded in fooling people, and also the degree of strong emotion from people who hated the thought that they had been fooled.
I'm astonished that you would screen this on TV. Can do nothing but harm, a real negative impact. I am so angry. I'll never watch another documentary again without thinking, is this serious? For heaven's sake, you even did an article on this bloke in The Listener. Are you all children?
I feel cheated. TVNZ has not made any friends for themselves screening this.
Montana Sunday theatre is usually good, but this was brilliant. I'm going to be sure not to miss it in the future.
Well, what wankers you turned out to be. You're playing with people's pride, man.
It wasn't a have, was it? Oh, it was. Yes, I thought so. It was too contrived. The film quality was too good. I felt sure that something would have come to light sooner if it had been fact.
I think it is bloody disgusting that TVNZ could show this appalling deceptive program. I want to come around and put a brick through your window.
All right. Can you isolate the music? Because that's awesome.
Oh.
I don't care about those dogs with peanut butter in their mouth trying to talk.
Yeah, I'm not sure what language they were speaking, but...
Well, it sounds like Narnia. It's a made-up land.
Dude, isn't that a trip, though? In 1995, there's still a dude who's like, I want to put a brick through your window.
Yeah.
Because they watched the movie.
And that's how Antifa started.
Dude, they watched the movie, enjoyed it, but were mad it was fake. Man, we need to be more self-aware and chill. Like, watch it. Don't take anything as fact. If you're interested in it, just look into it a little bit. Again, it's a 20-minute featurette. Peter Jackson, he gets kind of like they give him room to tiptoe, and he's mostly like, oh, I don't know. I thought people would have figured it out. Yeah. And it's like, shut up.
It was beauty that killed the beast.
Anyway, again, if you want to hear my initial coverage on that, I believe that TBR report was on episode 300. What are you pointing at?
This is Sparta? You don't have that anymore?
Come
on, dude.
Running the board.
Damn.
We need Randy in studio. So
I can teach a man to fish, but I can fish better than that man. That's all I'm saying.
On that note.
This concludes the TBR report.
Dirty Cop, No Donut.
Yeah, you got to watch that. Again, I think I got rid of the no Sparta or the Sparta thing.
Vimeo, you say?
You can rent it on Vimeo. Yeah, both 1 and 2.
I believe SRS put it out on DVD too.
I should have plugged that. SRS does a lot of great micro budget.
SRS to the world. SRS to the
So
world.
I would wait. I think we're just going to buy the double feature. 2 copies. One so I can open and play with it.
There's a physical copy?
Yeah, it's a double.
SRS.
Although 1 is really all you need.
Okay.
It's a good party movie.
Well, the Beatles taught us that.
Oh my God. They're canceled, dude.
Nah, dude. Peter Jackson brought them back.
True.
All right, what are we doing now?
Which I will never watch that because I truly could not get left with shit.
Shout out to a former guest, forever friend, Daryl Blood. He was DMing me about it. He had a lot to say on that movie. And I'm a little disappointed that our resident musician had near nothing to say, Randy. What the fuck?
Well, DB's a big Beatles fan.
Yeah.
About Get Back?
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched 40 minutes of the first episode, and it was a little too slow. Didn't care for it, but I did over the holidays watch the 3rd episode and really enjoyed it.
So you just said fuck off to episode 2?
Yeah, I mean, I heard the 3rd episode, so that's where like they do the rooftop concert, and I heard the 3rd is kind of like the best one. And my sister and her boyfriend had been watching it, and so I just watched the 3rd one with them.
Oh, the rooftop episode. That sounds very New York for you, dude.
They really did that?
It's in London.
Yeah,
that was the last time they played.
A rooftop show seems something that you want to do. Have you done a rooftop show?
Sort of.
There you go.
What do you mean, sort of?
I was on tour with my friend Jeff, who I used to play in Unconditional Arms. He has another project called Completer. And we played a show in Brooklyn somewhere, and then we also played a rooftop in Brooklyn, but it was just acoustic. So there was 2 of them playing, and I was just
And it was on
sitting.
the first floor
No, it was a rooftop.
of a first floor building.
It was like three floors, something like that.
That counts. Also, I have a guess here. Does he spell completer missing a couple of the vowels?
He does, yeah. Not all of them, though.
I'm on fucking fire
Dude,
today.
Completing ain't cheating.
I don't hate it. We could touch it up.
All right.
Speaking of touch it up, Randy, why don't you touch them bases, son, and talk about them movies?
Sure. Before I go into that, I will say that I did communicate with Thomas Burke this week, as I follow him on Letterboxd, and I saw that he watched a short film from the director of Funeral Parade of Roses.
Oh, shit.
So I told him, hey, you got to check out this feature because it's pretty good. And then that was about it.
He'd never seen the feature?
Then Thomas blocked him.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
No, he responded. He said he'll probably check it out. But
he responded because he lives in the metaverse.
Dude, I think he's
That's
just
true.
an online entity.
I think he is an NFT.
Do you talk to Tom about NFTs?
Non-fungible Thomas?
Oh, dude. He is. It's the NFT report now.
It's the NFTB report.
It's the NFTBR report.
Oh, just keep adding.
The non-fungible. Well, he keeps adding to the emails. He's writing binary code at the end of it.
I love it.
All right.
Another friend of the
Randy.
show that is not Thomas Burke, Robbie Smith, texted me a week or two ago,
Oh, Mr. Popular over here.
Ooh,
saying that, hey, you should check out this film called What Do We See When We Look in the Sky? And I had heard about this film from some pretentious film podcasts that I listened to. It made like 1 or 2 top 10 lists, but it kind of seemed like homework. And I was kind of like, I don't know. I kind of dip out of some of the very art housey stuff in the last couple years.
Right.
But, after Robbie texted me saying, hey, you probably like this, I gave it a shot. It's on Mubi. Like I said, it's called
on
What Do We See?
No, I do not have the cloud.
God damn
Why are
it.
you outing me? Now I'm getting shots at
Because we have cultivated a culture here, and we're failing our own cultivation.
Oksana, take a damn note. You need to help me out. Get Moo clip.
It's also like a 6-month-old clip that we haven't used for a very long time.
Yeah, but that's why we don't throw it. That's why we're tab hoarders over here, dude. Because we never know when we're going to have to bring it off the shelf.
Also, we did get a Moo clip from a fan. They sent one cut in with the Amityville thing. That's how long ago that was.
Man.
Also, if you want to write an email to us, it's the overlookhour@gmail.com.
Overlook
Wrong.
Hour.
It's wrong?
Yes.
There's no the.
I know it, man.
It's
All right.
overlookhour@gmail.com.
Do you want to take a vacation like I did?
Oksana, write a note. Order a noose off Amazon. I've lost weight. I think it will hold me now.
My man. Randy's always going to laugh at a noose joke.
So,
All right,
yeah,
so
the
let's talk about
movie
the
that I
Kim Cho
watched on Mubi, it is a Georgian film, not from the state of Georgia, but from the country of Georgia.
Ooh, Oksana's neighbor.
Directed by a man whose first name is Alexandra. I can't pronounce his last name, so apologies on that. But
We'll go with Jones.
it takes place in a riverside town called Kutasai. Not sure. So essentially, there is this main character named Georgie. He is a football player, also known as soccer, for those of you in the U.S.
Thank you so much.
And he has like a brief encounter with this
Clown.
Yes, with a girl, and they meet and they like plan a date to go like meet up again. But they are they're transformed in a way where they don't meet each other. They don't
Randy, I
know
have a
when they see
question.
each other again.
Did they engage in coitus?
They did not. No, it was kind of just like it's like a meet cute situation.
A what?
So it's just
What the
a
fuck
meet
is that?
cute.
Meet
That's a-
cute?
You've never heard that? That's literally like
No.
a cinematic term for like a scene in a movie where two people meet and they kind of like have a thing.
I've never heard that.
I've never heard of that, and I've heard of everything.
So essentially, yeah, these two people meet, and then so this movie is kind of like a fairy tale. There's like some magical realism in it. So essentially, yeah, these two people meet, they kind of like hit it off, and then they go to sleep that night, and they turn into different people. And so when they do meet again, they don't know that they are the people that they were when they met each other.
Understood.
It's very interesting, but yeah, it is a very long movie. It is 2.5 hours, but it's really good. I don't know what they shot it on. I'm pretty sure it's shot on some sort of film, maybe 16 millimeter, but it's beautiful. Just like this beautiful sunny town, just gorgeous cinematography. And yeah, it's very just interesting. So I listened to a Q&A with a director, and he said that his next film he's planning on like making a kids movie, and I could totally see that because this kind of has like a weird sort of like a magical feeling to it. Like I said, it's kind of a fairy tale, but it takes place in the city, and it kind of explores like the people in the city. The city is very obsessed with football. He's a football player, so there's like this whole like thing about the World Cup in it. It kind of feels like,
please say
I
something.
think no. I think your favorite guest, JTT, says that he shoots films like documentary, and he shoots documentary like they're films.
Yeah.
This feels like a documentary that is shot like super cinematically, like a film. I don't know. It's kind of okay. Yeah, I thought it might have been. There's a comment about it. So it kind of meanders a lot, but I kind of like films that like meander and don't 100% like scream at you like what the point of the movie is.
Like
It's
your
really
life.
good. It's yeah. I'm a meandering person, so I like seeing meandering in films. Yeah, it's really good. If you got a movie subscription and you like things that I talk about here, then I don't know, you'd probably dig it.
Again.
Meet cute.
Meet cute.
Look it up.
That sounds like a dating app, Dave.
Noun. In a film or television show, an amusing or charming first encounter between two characters that leads to a development of a romantic relationship between them. It all started with a little meet cute in a hospital elevator.
I mean, I get it. I just hate that title for it.
Randy doesn't go on dates. He likes
Meet cute.
meat cute. It made me think of like a Q-tip made out of meat. That was the first thing that popped into
I
my
thought it
head.
said meat cube.
Oh, a meat cube,
And
like
I
a
got
puzzle
hungry.
box made of meat.
Yeah.
Randy, thank you for teaching me that. I'm never going to forget it.
I'm still shocked that neither of you knew what that was.
How did you know?
I've heard about it, I don't know, since I've known about movies, I guess.
Yeah, because you started out watching rom-coms.
Dude, here's what we do.
Nah.
We make a movie called Meet Cute, and it's Randy going on a bunch of dates via app, but he doesn't actually want anything from the girl. And he
That's
has
not a meet cute, dude.
No,
It's
no,
gotta
you have
be
a
sans
cameraman.
app.
Yet, wait, what?
It's got to be sporadic. It can't be it can't be on an app. It's got to be sporadic. It just happens.
It doesn't. I just read the definition. Okay, fine. You know what? Let's roll with that. We follow Randy around with the camera, and you force yourself into meet cutes, and then
Meet cute.
when the girl gets attached, you just like ghost her.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Ghost cute.
All right.
Yesterday.
On.
All right, what else you got, son?
Yeah, yesterday I went to the still open Landmark Theater here in Atlanta. Hopefully it doesn't close anytime soon as I go there
Fired.
very often. I saw the movie called Sundown with Tim Roth and Charlotte Gainsbourg, directed by Michelle Franco. who did a movie called New Order that came out last year or the year before that I really enjoyed.
I missed that. I've been meaning to watch that.
It's not a subtle movie. It's not a meandering movie like my last film was.
Understood.
This movie is a little more subtle. So essentially, Tim Roth and Charlotte Gainsbourg, they're brother and sister, and they're on a vacation with Charlotte Gainsbourg's kids in Acapulco. And they are at like this super fancy like resort, kind of just hanging out by the pool, drinking. Their kids are drinking. Their kids look really young. So, you know, I'm sure the drinking age in Mexico is different than it is here. I don't know. I haven't been to Mexico besides to build a shelter a long time ago as a Christian. That too. I mean, there was 4 of them. So, so they're there and they're hanging out. You know, they look kind of bored. But Charlotte Gainsbourg gets a phone call from a family member, and they pretty much say that like, hey, we need you to come home because like someone's dying essentially. So they pack all their stuff, they rush to the airport, and Tim Roth, as they're paying for their flights, he says, "Oh, I don't have my passport. I think I forgot it at the hotel. But you guys go without me. It's like, it'll be fine." And essentially he gets back into a vehicle. And it seems like he didn't actually leave his passport and that he just didn't want to go back. And he gets into a taxi, and the taxi driver says, where do you want to go? He says, "Hotel." He says, "What hotel?" He's like, "I don't know. Just take me to one." So he takes him to like this very, I don't know, more like provincial area of Acapulco, you know, not super high class, not resorty, and just drops him off there. And then Tim Roth just decides to fuck off and just hang out in Mexico. It's interesting. There's maybe reasons for why he does that, but it's never 100% stated like why or what's going on. And yeah, it goes places. It gets kind of dark, and I don't know. Tim Roth is really good. Charlotte Gainsbourg isn't in it a ton. It's kind of more of Tim Roth's movie, but I don't know. It's an interesting one. I'd want to talk about it with other people that have seen it, but I know 0 people that have seen it.
I thought about seeing it. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts for something.
All right, there we go. Dude, Tim Roth's looking, he's looking aged.
He is, yeah. He's looking pretty old in this.
I'm glad he's back, though. Not that he went anywhere.
I was about to say.
I like it, Tim Roth.
All right, Randy, in honor of Found Footage February, I know you didn't want to talk about it, but give us a very short rundown of why you hated the Deep House.
I didn't hate the Deep House. I really enjoyed the first like 5 to 10 minutes where it was like a road trip movie, and there was like a banger of a song in the opening credits, and it was, yeah, it felt like a, you know, The Triangle or something, you know, little road movie to start. And then, you know, it looked cool underwater, but the thing about being underwater is that jump scares are slow. And I didn't give a shit about any of the characters.
Unless it's a fake ass fish, dude.
But Randy, how the fuck did they film it?
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I mean, that's why it looked cool, but it doesn't mean that I was interested in what was happening.
You didn't like the underwater drone?
I was kind of cool, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I didn't care about any of the characters, or I wasn't really immersed into anything, really.
Yeah, because the mind-numbing exposition probably took him out, which took me out.
Probably. It was also, yeah, they would switch from, which I get, it's probably like a French/English production, but they would just switch randomly from English to French sometimes, like mid-sentence, which is, I don't know, interesting.
I mean, when you can speak multiple language, you know, flex, baby.
Again, I love the Deep House. So don't group me up with these fucking heathens over here.
I mean,
that's fine.
Bad taste, you know what I mean?
I also love Bad Taste. Good movie.
God, are you going to shut up about Peter Jackson?
I know.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's a liar. We should lock him up and throw a brick through his window.
Almighty. All right, Randy, and then you'll jump on here as we got one that we all have seen. So
Yes,
we'll do
sir.
that after my first review. So I want to set the table here for this film, as it was directed by someone who you may be hearing on this show in the very, very near future.
Knock on wood.
From Sarah Adina Smith, Birds of Paradise. Released last year, 2021, in the year of our Lord. Two girls at an elite Parisian ballet academy have their bond and bodies tested as they compete for a contract to join the company of the Opera Nationale de Paris. I cannot stress to you how much enjoyment I got out of this movie. Now, number one, I should lay the foundation. I should set the preface. If this review is a book, here's the preface to the book. I may or may not have been higher than Randy's receding hairline. And it worked out perfectly. This is a 2-hour movie about ballerinas. Now, if you know me, I like a ballerina. Now, here's what you do need to know. Number one, I am an experienced ballerina to a certain extent in the 6th grade. Now, I grew up in Mississippi. In Jackson, Mississippi, Jackson is actually one of the ballerina capitals of the world, believe it or not. There's a national ballerina touring company. They always stop in Jackson. Jackson, for whatever reason, is a ballerina hub. So this company came by my very fancy school that I went to for 2 years because my mom taught there and I got free tuition. And they came by. I was in the 6th grade, and then we did like a demonstration. And I did a demonstration, and let me just say, I brought the house down. That's all we have to say. So
is this true?
100%.
Did you train? Could you
no,
stand on your toes?
So what they did was they want us to do. They put a towel on the ground, and then we had to run and jump over the towel. And I don't remember what my move was, but it got the best reaction.
Because we got another ballerina in the house who actually went and took classes in San Francisco over here.
Well, she didn't have a choice. She's Russian.
Is that true?
No, I paid for those classes.
I know, but what I'm saying is, it's in the blood, man.
I wish it was. I was fucking horrible.
How long did you do it for?
Maybe like 5 or 6 sessions.
Oh, I thought you were saying years.
No.
I thought we had something here.
My mom tried to get us to do that, and she's like, "You guys didn't want to, so I didn't press it." So starting that as an adult will really awaken you as to how uncoordinated you are, which I am tremendously
I could pull it off.
So I will. You guys have not seen this, and you will probably see this as I said before. We're building a foundation for a future guest, and so I'll tread lightly here because I would like to talk to Sarah about this. Anyway, essentially, if I had to sell this movie, I would sell it as Black Swan meets Cruel Intentions. Because we have some good old some good old fashioned pulp.
What were you about to say there?
I was going to say class for whatever reason. Old class, because that's something you say, idiot. Yeah, good old fashioned pulp, man. And there is let me explain this. A lot of sex.
Oh,
okay. I mean, they be fucking in this.
So is it like witty Mean Girls? Like,
not so much witty, they're just mean.
I love that though.
And it's in Paris, and there are 2 American girls, and they are roommates, and they don't hit it off at first. One is an all-American girl. She used to be basketball. She's very tall. She's very slender. She's very athletic, and she's on a mission because she was there on a scholarship that was given to this because it's very expensive to go to this Estate Ballerina Academy, but it is also a competition, and it's always working up. The film is actually structured in acts in a timeline to when the prize is. And the prize is, as I mentioned in the description of the film is a contract with the National Ballerina Act in Paris. So basically, it's a 2-horse race at the end of it, and this girl's roommate is the other one to watch out for. She's the other star, really, and they're both Americans. The other girl, her roommate, comes from a very wealthy family. In fact, this girl's mother is the U.S. ambassador to France, and her father is a nut milk tycoon.
Oh,
and that's it's a good back. There's also a very deep and rich backstory that I really don't want to touch concerning this girl and her twin who died.
Ooh.
And again, it just really plays into that pulp, man, and it's so much fun, and it's sexy, it's fun, it's dark.
Those are all great
we
words.
got a lot of competition here. We've got the very strict, sort of the ballerina teacher who's also kind of like the house mom, and she's very akin to like the head nun in Benedetta.
Oh my God. Now, Sarah, the director of this film, also did The Midnight Swim, which we showed at UF too, and honestly still stands out as one of the best found footage films made by and starring women. And it's all about like their emotional relationships and connections and navigating it. I am
played very well to this.
I'm so fucking stoked to watch this movie because I think she really has a way with like empathy and relationships. And
also this thing looks great.
Dude, the cover's fucking cool. I'm shocked I like hadn't heard about it in any other avenue than just from the director.
But essentially what the base of this film is, and the reason why I want to say, why I'm tying in that Cruel Intentions scenario into it, is that these two form a bond. They form a pact.
Yeah.
And essentially they say both of us win the competition or none of us win the competition. But as soon as that pact is made, then, they're looking at each other for, who's going to backstab me, or,
love it.
That's the thing. And then it really gets into that aspect of it. I really, really enjoyed this.
And good job. I feel like you didn't spoil anything.
I tried not to.
And it's available on Amazon Prime. Is that correct? On the poster, it says that, but I don't know.
Yes, on Amazon Prime.
Which is now $20 more for your yearly subscription.
Is it?
Yeah.
Saw that, yeah.
Yeah, they upped the rate. They're not raking in enough money. Now, here's the thing, Bezos. If you're going to up the cost, can you fucking pay the people who give you movies on there a little bit more? Because I think they went down to a penny.
Look, man, I use Amazon Prime all the time.
You constantly are ordering shit.
Constantly. I just ordered something while we were recording today. So, and I'll tell you this watch I have on right here, this is a $180 watch I got absolutely free because Prime said that they lost it and it didn't come at the time where it was supposed to be shipped to me. And so I filed for a refund, got the refund the next day, the watch showed up.
Score, bro.
Boom. Thank you, Bezos.
What kind of watch?
I don't want to get into it, but
all right.
It's very rare. Also,
Okay.
when I got it, it was there actually never produced in America, only in Japan.
Oh, I regret.
So
I shouldn't have asked.
The instructions all in Japanese.
Oh my! Randy hates that shit.
It's a Casio G-Shock, but it's a G-Lide. See, like glide.
All right.
See?
You got another movie?
Yeah, I got another movie. I watched a bunch of documentaries on Netflix. Again, I think I've talked about that series before, Bad Sport, which was one particular I want to talk about very briefly is just, are you aware that there was a race car driver in Florida in the 1980s who funded his own race car team in both IMSA and in IndyCar because he was a drug runner?
What are you saying? Well, I have no
IMSA. No, IMSA is basically the third most popular racing in America.
I didn't know there were three. I thought it was just one.
I understand.
No, but I did not know.
Yeah.
It seems weird to run drugs on one track hundreds of times.
So he was running pot. and
throwing him out to the crowd as he passed by
in Florida. And the way they had it is that, dude, I'm telling you, how they brought in the most amount of marijuana ever in the country. And how they would do it is that they would, at the bottom they explained it, and I'm going to butcher this, but essentially the bottom of the ship has a little bit of salt water in there to kind of keep everything balanced. So what they would do is that they would get welders to go in the hull of the ship and make like a compartment and put a ballast in there to separate it from the water. And like when they would do a check, customs could never see it.
Yeah.
Because it's a hidden compartment. And so they would just ship just buku-doodles of weed. And I forgot the total amount, but it was hundreds of millions of dollars that they were able to bring in. And he funded his racing team through the marijuana. And then he got
That's rad.
And then he got busted. He went on the run. He got caught very quickly. And then he went to jail for life.
Oh.
Because this was right when the Ronald Reagan drug enforcement.
Yeah.
And Obama pardoned him. With all the, because he was in there for marijuana.
Yeah.
That was it.
The pardons are a trip.
He didn't do coke. He didn't do anything else. It was marijuana.
Now, the pardon thing, I'm so conflicted on because, it's basically presidents are making good on dues with people that have supported them. And it's wild. Like, you should check out all the people who have been pardoned presidentially. It's crazy. Also, I just looked it up. Dude, Peter Jackson directed this. It's all a lie. You got to check this shit, man. People listen to this show and you're feeding them lies, dude. I'm reporting you to Spotify.
God, for the life of me, I can't remember what the name of this movie is called.
Okay. What movie?
Here we go. Randy Lanier is the race car driver. And the name of the movie...
Oh, that's Randy was named after him.
Is the name of the movie...
I was named after a racer.
You were?
Randy Mamola. I think he's a motorcycle racer.
That MotoGP, that's next level, man.
Yeah.
I was named after a racer, Trash.
Oh, boy.
Which, if you have the Internet Archive, it's a website. Google the Internet Archive. Go into the search engine, put in Racer Trash, one word. Because it's done, they've uploaded a lot of it, including Blue Velvet. And the Abaddon. And one of the Darkwave... Are You Afraid of the Dark? I mean, they have the whole Stephen King one up there. We'll do it later after Found Footage February, but it's incredible.
The name of the series is Bad Sport on Netflix, and they have like several different. I think they have 4 or 5 different documentaries. The first one I talked about was when it was the first episode that came out, which was Malice at the Palace, which is still incredible. And this is great. I love that series. Look, the Netflix documentary stuff is hit and miss. I watched one 3-hour thing about a guy who says he said he was like a member of MI5 with this fan. I don't know. It was boring. Don't watch that.
Is that a boy band?
What it's called. You know what MI5 is. All right, let's talk about it. Long awaited. It got pushed back. We were supposed to have it, I think, at 2 different points last year, and then they moved it to February 4th of this year. We were all excited. We're all fans. We're all of a certain age, and within that certain age, I think again, we have many different interests here, okay? But if it was a Venn diagram, there's a similar thread through all of our Venn diagrams, and that Venn diagram is Jackass.
Moonfall. Oh,
look. If we all go together to go see Moonfall,
yeah,
let's do it.
All right, we went together to see Jackass. Let's do it.
And we had a whale of a time. You were out of gummies. I was more than happy to supply you with some gummies so that you could enjoy,
I would have enjoyed it
the
either way.
expedition.
I just wanted to be completely unhinged, removed of anxiety, and melt into the chair
in an elevated state of mind,
and just let all of the male genitalia just wash over me.
So much.
And I should say, our collaborator with the Overlook Theater YouTube page, which you should subscribe to, Terrell Trotty. This was his first ever Jackass experience.
I didn't know that till we got in the car going home.
Incredible. And I think he might have just said white shit like 48 times during that movie.
It's 100%. And they brought in some color.
Yeah.
And they were doing more white shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So there you go. All right. So Jackass Forever came out this week, and essentially it's more of the same. However, we like the same. So the big changes, I would say, number one, I really enjoyed the more cinematic opening that they did because they kind of made a little bit more of a. I mean, there was more money into this one because typically in the previous three, it's them running from something.
Yeah.
And
there's money in it. I mean, yeah. But this one
was really impressive. It was really, really impressive. Now, all right, are we giving away gags here? Maybe we should stay away from the opening gag.
It's fine. Yeah, we can move away from it.
Great. It was, and when the realization of what it was, I lost it.
Yeah, the main thing with Jackass Forever is that we've gone kind of the Scream 5 route where we have the legacy cast who you come to see and like Chris Pontius and Steve-O and Johnny Knoxville. And then we have like
Dave England.
We have some parallel people like Eric Andre shows up and because I believe he used the crew that does Jackass to make his movie Bad Trip.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of there. But then we introduce
Tony Hawk shows up.
Tony, who's just kind of there too, like little cameos. But then we introduce a new round of people. And I remember
new cast.
Yeah. And I remember feeling a little duped. I'm like, wait, what? Who the fuck is Poopies? And I'm like, what are we doing here? And you know what? By the end of it, I'd say they got it 50-50.
You get ingratiated to them very quickly. Now here's what I'll say, because we do have a new cast, so that's what I wanted to say. That was the second part. One is that they had a more cinematic opening, which I think worked great. I think it's my favorite opening that they've done, and that's saying a lot because I do love those openings. Number two is the new cast. So there's, I think, 4 or 5 new cast members, 2 of which really only make an impact for me.
Yeah.
And that is Zach and Poopies.
Yep.
These guys, they fit in so quickly. Like, they could have been in the original cast because these guys go at it and they go hard, man. They took the roughest ones. Poopies, man. Poopies is all over this movie. And Zach is a larger gentleman. I believe he is larger than Preston Lacey. And those two together, that's a good duo.
Zach isn't far from Zach Amico. Like, I kept thinking that.
Yeah.
Like, he's got kind of that, like...
He's bigger than Zach Amico.
Dude, and he does a lot of, like, aerial stunts.
Dude, he's going... He jumps in a pile of cactuses.
And, the fucking... I believe it's cacti,
downhill.
by the way.
Thank you so much.
And I was talking to Clark about this on the way, because I imagine you've had a run-in with a cactus before.
No.
Never?
No.
Okay, my mom used to have them on the stairs in our house.
Why would I have a run-in with cat? Because I've been in Phoenix several times.
You've been all over. You're very global, and you do weird shit with plants. So I
Smoke
myself
them, eat them.
I've had a run-in with the cacti before, and they fucking hurt. Like you see them in cartoons a lot, but I'm like, I don't think people really appreciate how brutal that stunt was, and it wasn't very visual, other than him wearing a cape. And
no, it was a hang glide.
He had a hang glider.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey, watching the larger boys in slow motion, it's kind of fun.
Also, spoiler alert, the hang glider did not help.
5 feet away.
Human ramp.
Yeah.
Human ramp was great, yeah.
Now, hold on, because Clark only mentioned 2 people, but there is a female to the cast now, Rachel Wolfson, I believe.
Stand-up comedian.
Yeah. Stand-up comedian. Now, Clark, you were defending her in the theater. I said, I've never felt that a cast member has been more of a diversity hire because they didn't do shit to this girl. They hit her with the glitter gun. And again, spoilers, but you're not missing out on anything. She got a glitter gun. She put her tongue on a taser, which honestly, that doesn't seem like a good time.
Yeah.
But for this movie,
and compared to what the other 2 had to do in that same segment, she by far got off the easiest.
Yeah.
Because Poopies had to kiss a snake.
And then what?
Twice.
She had one where like an animal was going to bite her.
And here's the thing. You can't really kiss snakes because they're going to bite you in the face. And that's what happened to Poopies.
Dude, it is incredible. I'm just like, did she film a bunch of shit that just didn't work? Because otherwise, dude, they let her off the hook. And it was funny because Terrell kept cheering for the there's like a black cast member now, and he was just like, man, he didn't do anything. Actually, they brought his dad out, and that motherfucker did a lot
His dad
more.
rules. Yeah.
Also, that's the other cast member that is Dark Shark.
Yeah.
And also, because of Dark Shark, I now have a new nickname that I've given myself.
Oh no.
Dark Shark Clark.
You just stole a nickname.
Thank you so
also,
much.
I hate it, just for the record. I hate it when people give themselves a nickname. It's that's not how nicknames work.
But you support this.
I will,
Dark
because
Shark
I
Clark.
love you.
Thank you so
I
much.
fucking hate it, though.
Dark Shark Clark. Dark Shark was awesome. Now, again, I don't even remember his kid's name.
I don't either.
And honestly, I can't remember a single stunt that he did, because all basically he did was talk in the movie. Like, so he narrated a couple scenes. I'm like, what are we doing?
He also felt like the only character who was reading off a prompter.
Yeah.
Like, he felt very scripted, where, you know, part of the reason I think we love Jackass is how unscripted and raw it feels, and like it's very honest. And that dude just didn't feel that way at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Another thing to note is because this was filmed in like a COVID era, there's not a lot of like man on the street, which honestly I didn't even realize until we went to a special screening that had like a 10-minute behind the scene where they kind of introduced all of the new cast. And it was pretty interesting, but like
we had a couple and they were pretty good. You missed one of them.
Oh, I did?
You missed one. You missed the obligatory Dave England shit bit.
No, I saw that one.
Because they did a recut later.
Oh,
but you missed the original.
Oh, okay.
He was at a garage sale, and there was a toilet, and so he went and took a shit in the toilet, but then the toilet blew up.
Oh, I did miss that.
Yeah,
dude, I've never felt held captive by the act of urinating before. That gummy must have hit me. I felt like I had been in that bathroom for a fucking eternity.
Well, it takes you 3 hours to
does.
pee because of your narrow urethra.
Yes, it's a very traumatic story how it got so thin, but I don't. But I was in the bathroom just like, I'm never leaving. I was like, I'm living here now.
Speaking of thin urethras, there's also
Franklin's?
a segment.
Urethras or urethras?
Urethra Franklin.
Yeah.
There is a segment. What's that? Ping pong.
Oh, wait. What were we? We were talking about it before we started recording. Panini press.
Panini
That's
press,
what it should have been called.
So Chris Pontius put his penis between two plexiglass plates, bolted down.
Oh yeah.
And made his penis paper thin.
Yeah.
Paper thin.
He was like, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Paper thin.
And then there was a ping pong ball attached.
No one has done more to their dick than Pontius.
Yeah.
And then Terrell found out that he had a baby a year ago, and he was like, "Ow!"
No, not Pontius. It was oh god, who's Mohawk dude in that movie?
Danger Aaron.
Yeah, he had a baby.
I want to be very clear. Danger Aaron had the roughest go in
The
here.
roughest.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild.
And I don't want to talk about it because I really want people to enjoy it. But they did a haunted house bit where it was like Silence of the Lambs, and it was not physical. It was completely psychological, where they just had a blackout room, and they had well, it's not infravision, it's like night vision goggles on, and they fucked with two people. Man,
they fucked with 6 people, but they all did
two
it
at
by
a time.
2. Yeah.
And I think that might be the best thing they've ever done.
It's so good.
It was incredible. It's just like raw emotion. And it's really like, you know, when you see Johnny Knoxville get tossed by a bull, there's part of you, it's like, why am I watching? Like, dude, don't do that. This one felt completely tame and like no guilt. Dude, that's my favorite thing they might have ever done.
And also just, these guys have PTSD from those things.
Oh, you have
And
to.
Dave England's like, I can't do it. He's like, he didn't want to leave.
Well, my favorite thing from the kind of lame bonus feature we got was they were talking to Poopies, and they asked all the new cast members, like, what did you learn? And Poopies was like, what did I learn? He's like, volunteer for anything where you can't break a bone. And that's, they're like, oh, that's why you did the dick thing? And he was like, yep. And I'm like, honestly, that's good advice.
And when they asked Zach, he didn't have an answer.
No. Yeah. And the other people, who cares? Because they were forgettable.
But I really liked. I love the vulture bit with Wee Man.
Yeah, the vulture, a terrifying animal.
Horrifying.
I think vultures. I'm there with our buddy Adam Stillwell. That might be on the top of my nightmare list now. Like fuck a spider. I've seen that all the time. And snakes. That vulture, I felt like it was completely unpredictable and looked like it would want to kill you.
Man,
terrifying animal.
Super scary. Also, I imagine they fucking stink. Oh, they have to reek, man. They have to reek. Now, there was only one bit that I could not watch. I had to turn my head.
Really?
And I didn't see what happened.
What was it?
It was with Danger Aaron when he had the all the different segments of them busting his balls.
Oh.
The pogo stick.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch the pogo stick. I couldn't do it.
Now, that's a that's a Randy retread of a bit there. It's the fucking cup check.
Yeah.
From the first one. Yeah.
Cup test.
And they fucking they upped that one. This was a ton of fun. And again, I put it up on Instagram and I was like, dude, it's incredible how therapeutic this movie felt. Because it's just people. There's not a lot of COVID talk. Like there's some people in masks, but they're just hanging out and like doing dumb shit.
Well, look, Jackass has been going on for over 20 years. So because of that, there is certainly a level of nostalgia there. And I think that we hit that piece, right?
Yeah.
Also, with the addition of the new cast and addition of a couple of great cast members, it took it to a different level and it made it something a little bit more fresh. And I loved it, man. I really, really did.
Funny how you chose the word fresh, as currently on Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at 85%.
It wasn't.
Hell
nice.
yeah.
I know, but how? Now, again, let me defend my quote unquote weird, rebellious way of rating movies. How the fuck do these idiots, these wannabe critics out here, give that 85% and then shit all over everything else that's like a horror movie? What standard are they going by?
Spike Jonze.
It's like, man, yeah, Spike Jonze. All right, fine, you win.
Well, also, thing is, because I've been loving reading the critical reviews for this movie because a lot of the people, we're old now, and so are the critics that grew up watching the same shit. So I feel like there is a lot of nostalgia in it from a lot of critics. And yeah, they do like introduce new people, and it's overall just like fun and like just watching them and like their camaraderie. Like they do almost take bits too far sometimes, but anytime like a bit finishes, like you see them like hugging each other to like calm them down, or like just the camaraderie of everybody, just like, I don't know, like you said, it felt very therapeutic and it's just like great to see. And I think, yeah, we're old. Critics are the same age, if not younger than us now. So I think that kind of adds to it.
I would go watch this right now.
Now, again, very controversial. At the end of the film, they have a little memorial there. And really, I wish they would have talked more about Bam Margera. They just gave him a post-mortem date. Now, Bam...
They gave Ryan Dunn a post.
I understand. But where the fuck was the Bam talk? He's not dead. Also, they had another heavily addicted... wow, I almost called him a celebrity, and I felt wrong. Like Peter Jackson. Rob Dyrdek was there, who... he looked bad.
And also... annoying
as fuck. What they should have got Chanel West Coast.
He was trying too hard. Like,
yeah.
What was he doing?
Now,
I don't remember him being like that always.
Now, Rob, he's had to take it in a serious direction, he's had a bad run-in with drugs.
Has he?
He's talked about how he's prostituted himself to men for
really?
Yeah. So he's had a hard life.
Damn.
Here's the thing. Fucking so is Bam Margera. Now, I looked into it because it's kind of like a hole. They just don't even mention him. And, he's such a big part of this thing. And I looked into it. Apparently, they had given him some strict guidelines. They wanted him to get drug tested every day on set. He had to be sober. And it's a long list. One of those items on there was the straw that broke the camel's back. And he just said no. Then he went on like a live stream and just started talking mad shit about the production. So I believe the producer actually got a restraining order against him because in that rant, he may have thrown out some death threats that extended to his family. So
yeah, I think there just had to be a healthy level of separation there, and
yeah, it's a bummer.
It sucks.
I'm one of the people who used to love Bam when he was skating. Had like posters on my wall. I miss him. He does look fucking terrible though. Also, him,
Mhm.
not a great band.
Well, look, here's the thing. I'll tell you this. I think Knoxville has aged great. Knoxville
Dude.
looks great.
Okay, but you know,
Steve-O looks good too.
Steve-O looks incredible.
They all look like
Yeah.
Hollywood actors.
Except
Uh-huh.
for Dave England.
Yeah, true.
Looks like a stray dog.
Yeah, but he still looks like a Hollywood stray dog. He's got like a nice white
Man.
guy tan. He's missing some
I
teeth. but,
love
like,
Dave England.
Yeah.
He looks rough.
But Steve-O and Johnny look like they just walked off a movie set. Like they look Hollywood ready.
Well, they're healthy and clean.
That's touche.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, Steve-O's voice, whew.
Yeah, but I honestly feel like Steve-O now is more entertaining and relatable than ever.
I love Steve-O.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's great. I would honestly, I'm kind of a little upset about the trailer because I was expecting more Eric Andre in here.
We got a fair amount.
We got a little bit. We got a taste, but I would have
Sure.
liked him to be on set. I don't
Be
know.
in the
I'm
cast?
I'm a fan. Yeah, kick that Rachel
I
bitch
don't
out. Put it.
I don't know if he'd roll.
No, he wouldn't.
You know?
He's got money and a following. and
Yeah. Like, why not?
he's actually funny, so he doesn't have to like get in a shopping cart and roll down a hill.
I mean, that's an option. Also, Pontius is funny.
He is funny.
I love Pontius.
I also feel like he was the one that did the most out of the legacy cast here.
Well, Steve-O.
Steve-O did. Yeah, I know. All right.
Steve-O had a concussion. Steve-O got fucked up on that treadmill.
The marching band thing, yeah.
The marching band thing didn't. I feel like it didn't translate great to film.
I agree with you. I don't love the how they shot that.
Yeah, great stunt though.
It's tricky how you would shoot it, to be honest with you, but it didn't hit like the other ones.
Nah. Yeah, and I totally blame the angle.
But it was clear that one messed them up more than all the other ones.
The best shot was them post stunt where there's just somebody bleeding. They look like Randy after he
Now
fell on
you
the
said
curb.
you said that Bam was in that sketch.
I thought he was,
Okay.
but there's no way after reading the contract thing. And honestly, they all kind of look the same when you put a helmet on them.
You can't tell really who was
Yeah.
in that.
So I was like, was that fucking Bam? I am, Then I got trapped in a urinal for a fucking half hour, so wasn't in the best state of mind.
All right, Jackass, 2 stars.
And Terrell, after when we got home, he was like, "How come I never know black people in these things?" And I'm like, "Well, when we used to party out on Grand Avenue out here in the Bay Area, I ran into somebody at 3 a.m. on the street. Now, Grand Avenue is dead. It's not near a freeway or anything. All the bars close at 2. I don't know what I was doing out there at 3. But I ran into a gentleman who sold me a poster. He didn't have any copies of his movies, but it was called Blackass. Now, I still have that poster. I made sure he signed it for me. But if anybody has a copy of that movie, which may or may not exist, please send it to overlookhour@gmail.com.
Well, if you type in Blackass movie,
Yeah,
I'm
please
sure
don't
you're
Google it.
you're gonna get some different results there.
You know what?
Spelled with a Z, right?
We can only hope. But yeah, so Terrell, there is a different culture out there doing this thing.
Also, Dark Shark, pretty black.
Yeah, he was good, and also fresh out of prison, I believe,
Love
when he
Dark
got on
Shark.
set. All right, I'll be quick here. I know we waxed poetic about Jackass for a lot longer than I thought we were.
Worth it.
On Tuesday night, after we were filming Blu-ray Tuesday with Terrell, we made a quick pivot. On the way home from work, and mind you, it's been brutal lately. We're doing a lot with this film fest and doing 2 podcasts a week and working a regular full-time job. Wah, 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 I know. On the way home, I was like, hey, what's playing at the Alamo? Because our favorite Viking, Jake Eisgard out there, he's brought back Terror Tuesday and Weird Wednesday. And Oksana's like, oh, it looks like House of Wax. And I'm like, oh, all right, that's an easy. I'm like, wait a minute. From what year? And like, 2005. Like, oh, I think we might need to go see House of Wax. Now, mind you, this was screening at 9:45. And I was already tire drunk at 5 o'clock on the freeway on the way home. And I'm like, the thing is, I have one memory of watching House of Wax, and it was in the theater, and it was fantastic. I loved it so much. We got Chad Michael Murray in here, Paris Hilton. We got the lead from Cousin Skeeter. This movie, I didn't realize how much of a special place it really held in my heart until the opportunity to see it in 35 millimeter had popped up out of nowhere.
Didn't even know it was a thing.
Dude, me either. And I was like, fuck. Because I knew UK versus the World, the newest RuPaul show, airs on Tuesday, and that Terrell had already planned, like, post filming, we'd watch that. And I'm like, the thing is, I think one of the first conversations me and Terrell ever had was about House of Wax. So I pitched it to him. He instantly fought back, but then was like, I saw him go on his phone. I'm like, I bet he's texting his boyfriend right now, seeing if we could go to the Alamo. And we did. Fucking fantastic. Now, Theater One, again, if you're not from here, Theater One is a massive screening room. I think it holds over 300 people. Now, I was expecting to roll in with 8 other people there. I would say it was like a third full. It looked pretty good. Probably not 100 people, but maybe 80. And went in there, ordered from the menu. Again, they took my favorite beer off the menu, the one that Clark turned me on to, Old Rasputin.
Old Rasputin.
Pretty bummed about that. But we got an angry pepperoni pizza. It was actually hot, which I appreciated.
With jalapeno?
Yeah, and I think paprika and I can't remember what else was
We
on
got
there.
paprika on there.
Yeah, it was good, dude.
Paprika, get your ass over here.
Oh my god. And I'm gonna tell you, House of Wax fucking holds up. I remembered it just being fun, and I remembered Paris Hilton dying in a way that actually felt good. Normally, whenever you have like a pop star or some like celebrity that isn't an actor come into a horror film, they usually treat them with like kid gloves, and they'll die off screen, or they just don't die, like Brandy and fucking I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. And in this one, Paris Hilton fucking dies. And I remember rolling into that theater fucking
Spoiler.
20 years ago. Again, 20 years ago. And part of the marketing for this film was watch Paris die. They just had that on a shirt.
I think I remember that.
I wish I fucking had one. But I went in there and I was just waiting for her to fucking die. This time, I didn't want her to. I'll tell you, she's fucking good in this movie. The cast just works. The directing is beautiful. There's a theme of duality here. You know, if you're not cringing right now, you haven't listened to the show long enough. But we're not doing it with mirrors. We're doing it with Wax Museum, and kind of like a reflection of a moment in time in our life. And also there's a very interesting theme of rural America versus inner city America. And our lead actress is talking about moving to New York, and her bumpkin boyfriend, he's just not sure he's down with that. So when they get trapped in a small off the map town in America, we're kind of playing into that, like, rednecks are out there and they're going to kill you and only smart people live in the city. But I feel like the relationships, and again, our main character is a twin with Eminem. Eminem's the evil twin. And there's a lot of this like duality theme where it's like evil and good, this binary. And there's a twin battle in this movie. The House of Wax is literally made of wax, and we get a beautiful third act that really pushes it. Dude, this film, I fucking loved it. And now, you know, we're in the future. We're not in 2005 anymore. But it turns out in 2009, same director made Orphan, which is getting another comeback. And then I know Clark's favorite movie from 2016. He also produced The Shallows. Yeah, he didn't direct it, but fucking you know what? I'm looking at his name now. I'm not going to try it. But
Shallows was fucking
I fucking love this movie. And if you're nodding along with me right now and you remember it being great, Scream Factory has a beautiful release of it. And after we watched this, Terrell went and ordered it right away, and it came with the slipcover. That means people haven't been fucking with it. So if you're a fan, order it now, which I'm looking at you, Oksana. Did we order ours yet?
No.
Okay.
I fully remember. I saw this probably opening night in 2005.
Ditto.
I had a great time. Don't think I've revisited since then.
Dude,
I
holds up.
100% would. Now, here's my question. I remember this being fairly popular, especially with Paris Hilton. So why do you think this never really hit the franchise market?
I think, well, I don't know. I can't remember what it made. But I also think as far as like retro screenings, we're only starting to look at films from 2005. So I just feel like it hasn't really hit the zeitgeist, and like people aren't like celebrating it. Also, I mean, The original's kind of untouchable.
Which is wild because that was the year I graduated high school.
Well, do you remember the like central plot of this movie?
No.
They're all getting together to go to a college football game.
Ooh, tight.
So like the first time they get off the freeway and get like lost in Yokelville, they're playing catch. I'm like, dude, Clark would have totally done. Yeah.
No, I remember enjoying this because this came out, I think, the year after the Jessica Biel Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It would be right around
I remember
there. Yeah.
those were very close.
Yeah. Like all those kind of like new starlets, and we're revisiting.
And this one was a little bit more fun than
a lot more gory too.
The Texas, there's some gore in the Texas Chainsaw.
No, I'm saying like that era.
Also, isn't that coming back? What's happening?
Netflix has got a new movie.
It's a movie or a series?
I don't know. If it's a series, I'm not going to watch it. I was pumped on fucking Child's Play. Never got around to it.
Yeah,
so,
man.
I still know what you did, or I know what you did last summer. That show, never got around to it.
You watched the little screen.
I did watch season 1, but I never finished 2. I can't fuck with TV shows. Give me a movie.
You never saw the series remake of Ice Cream Man?
Are you making
Of course I am.
Okay.
The Van Halen song?
What?
Oh my God.
Oh,
Randy,
damn.
I'm proud of you today.
That's Sammy Hagar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it?
Randy would know.
It is. I think so, yeah.
Look at
I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
They're gonna have to revoke my Van Halen card today.
Yeah. So House of Wax, fucking order it off Scream Factory.
Hold on. If only we had producers who would do their goddamn job.
I'm trying to find it as well.
I can confirm that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a movie.
All right.
The new one, I mean.
We got some real
Wait,
journalism.
1978. Yeah, no, it's fucking. It's not Hagar.
It's funny because I'm the only one that knew that. I just want to fucking have
I
you
was
all.
I was almost certain.
Yeah.
It was not Van Hagar. It was my boy David Lee.
Yeah, how y'all like that, huh? Fact check your fucking selves.
Also, both of them are batshit crazy. All right, boys, girls, this was a good episode.
And it was only 4 hours long.
No, we did all right. All right. Any other announcements, queries, questions, concerns, comments?
Now, we did the UF thing. We should have more of that coming out soon. Robbie Smith, if you were following along with his crowdfunding, I believe he raised over $10,000.
Ooh.
So congratulations. He had a pretty fucking aggressive goal.
How many Ethereum is that?
Right now, maybe 2.5.
2.5.
No, actually, it's who cares?
What's the coin at right now, dude?
It'll change by the time this airs.
Yeah, there's no point.
I know. The ebb and the flow of life. All right. Again, stay tuned for Thursday's episode. We'll bring that to you, whether or not we have a guest, as we are set to complete that tomorrow. So stay tuned. We'll see you on Thursday. And as always, Randy, take her home.
I wasn't able to fit this in before we changed subjects, but House of Wax, I'd rather watch House of Sax with Kenny G.
Don't laugh at that. I'm going to cut your mic.
I don't hate it. Or Jackass.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Overlook Hour. And if you would like to hear more, please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever your podcatcher of choice is. And while you're there, go ahead and give us a rating and or a review, which is a very easy way for you to support this show that we bring to you every week for years now, free of charge. And as always, you can find us on YouTube at The Overlook Theater, Instagram at The Overlook Theater, Facebook at The Overlook Hour, and Twitter at The Overlook Hour. Last but not least, you can send us your emails and tell us how much you like or dislike the show at overlookhour@gmail.com. And if you're nice, maybe we'll read them on the show. I've been your engineer, Randy Stat. Please join me along with Clark, Russell, and Oksana again next time. Bye.